Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the 10 most common mistakes during the initial interview. So just a quick introduction about myself. I've been part of the human resources and recruitment industry for a while now, and I'm creating videos to help. Okay, so let's talk about the very first one. You forget that this is a selling situation and don't ask for the job. A candidate's objective in an initial interview is to sell what he or she can do for the prospective employer. Some candidates, though, feel they are unique and would be so valuable over and above every other candidate that it is obvious they should be hired. Therefore, the candidate have absolutely nothing to decide about until there's a job offer. The truth is, success in the initial interview is the first step to that job offer. So candidates have to constantly be asking, what do I need to do to get the job? Number two, you think that interviewing is a two-way street. Most candidates think that the interview should be a give and take on the part of the candidate and the interviewing or hiring authority. Truth is, an initial interview is a one-way street. Hiring or interviewing candidates are going to have available a plethora of initial interviews for every job they have to fill. The candidate has to prove himself or herself superior to all of the other candidates before there's an equal exchange with a potential employer. 3. You focus on what you want in a job. Most candidates are intent on what they want in a job rather than what they can do for a prospective employer. They don't recognize that if they give the hiring authority good enough reasons for why they ought to be hired, a hiring authority can give them plenty of good reasons why they ought to go to work there. Number 4. You don't really know what you're really selling to an employer. Most candidates, even if they know they need to sell themselves, don't know what they should be selling. Their attitude is, hey, I'm a good person, you'd be lucky to have me, when can I go to work? They forget to sell specific features, advantages, and benefits that they can provide the employer. Number 5. You cannot articulate or bridge for the employer your specific abilities. Most candidates know they are good, and even if they're aware of their specific features, advantages, and benefits, they cannot articulate them specifically. In other words, they need to say, this is what I've done for others, so therefore I will be successful for you. This takes practice and doesn't come naturally. Number 6, you have poor communication skills. It is hard to believe that candidates don't practice looking people in the eye and communicating clearly and concisely what they can do for a company that nobody else can. If you mumble, slouch, don't look people in the eye, and cannot speak clearly, you won't get hired. It is not that hard to practice even if it doesn't come naturally. Number 7, you dress improperly or poorly and your body language is unprofessional. There are still people who dress casually for an interview, slouch or lay back in their chairs, have poor eye contact, and do unprofessional things in an interview. A candidate should at least in an initial interview dress like a banker and be well groomed. Candidates need to practice sitting up in the chair, leaning forward, looking in the interviewing or hiring authority in the eye, and being relaxed yet serious. Number 8, you don't research the company or the position you are interviewing for. I'm always amazed at the number of well-educated professional candidates who don't do research on the company or the job they're interviewing for. Cursory research won't do. The people who are getting the jobs usually know more about the company and the person they are interviewing with. Number 9, you are unable to articulate what you would like in a new job or company. I'm not talking about salary, title, and so on. I'm talking about people who don't know what their professional goals are, don't have a clue as to where they would like to be in the future, don't have an idea what they'll be striving for personally and professionally. Too often, they come across as, well, I just need a job. And 10, you badmouth your present or your previous employer. Most candidates don't recognize that employers identify with employers. Whatever you say about your present employer or past employer, you will say about them. Your present and past employers have to appear positive. And here are some other sins, a bonus for staying with me till the end. Discussing personal problems in the interview, being late for the interview, not apologizing for being late to the interview, not closing the interview properly, not asking what the next steps are going to be, and not asking about the competitive candidates. Are you guilty of any of these? Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe.